Ready?
Welcome back to episode 2 of On the Couch with Pokerbet. I'm joined again by Pokerbet CEO Darren Kramer. Good to be back for number 2.
Yeah, excited. Enjoyed that first one and looking forward to what we got on the cards today.
Yeah, we've got a new couch, slightly more room, but that's probably because we removed Ahmed. If he's not eating everyone else's chips, he's been found at eating Marco's Pizza this last weekend at Sunbet at Times Square in Pretoria. It was a great series, and we'll definitely get into that as well. We don't have any guests joining us this week. We thought we'd keep it in-house. Next week, the next show, we're going to have a couple of new interesting faces to pick their brains, and hopefully we'll have one of the new members that'll be joining us from the Monte Casino Win a Trip to Vegas competition that's happening on Sunday the 24th. Do you want to tell
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Fly to Vegas with Team Pokerbet next weekend, Sunday, Monday. I'm super excited. For as little as 2,000 Rand, you can play a live satellite for every 180,000 Rand of, money, deposited money bought in. There'll be a package given away. I'm pretty confident we're going to look at between the 3 and 5 packages, but just really excited to some new faces, some good poker resulting and just the team growing. So, yeah, next weekend, don't miss out in Monte Casino, as I said.
So that's Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon at Monte on Sunday the 24th.
Yeah.
Buy-in is?
2,000 Rand.
Okay, so it's 2,000 Rand buy-in, rebuys, add-ons?
Rebuy 1K, you can do a double rebuy for 2,000 Rand, and I think the add-ons are 2,000 Rand. I think you can buy in for as late as level 9.
Okay.
So, yeah, exciting, and I think you can buy in as late as lunchtime on Monday. So looking forward, and it's going to be a big weekend of excitement.
That's awesome. I really think it's great that a lot of the land-based casinos and the poker series in South Africa are really looking to grow the game, providing opportunities for guys to get to Vegas this year, to the World Series of Poker. We know from our early 20s what an opportunity it was for us to cut our teeth against some of the best in the world. And obviously, if you run good for a day or two, you might pick up a bracelet and a few dollars. I think that it's going to be exciting because it's not online players that are coming through this one. It's live players, so it's a different set of criteria, different skill set. Last year, obviously, our mechanics that we took the players, a lot of them were cash game players that ended up coming with us. This, you're going to find probably more focused tournament players, guys that are really looking to get and mix it up in the Colossus and the Lucky 777 and the Independence Day, the Mini Main. There's a lot of events around the main event of the World Series that are more affordable. We say that. I mean, it's still expensive when you're converting 20 to 1, but it's not the 200,000 Rand main event entry that you got to find the chump change for. I think that it's not only the Monte Casino tournament that's going to be bringing, obviously we got a couple of more players that are going to win packages through our campaigns that are running at the moment. What would you take as an over-under on players in Vegas coming with Pokerbet, excluding staff and yourself?
I reckon, push the boundaries of what I want, but I reckon 14 people will win a package. Obviously, we've got our final 1 million on the 1st of April, where there'll be 8 people will then go into a final table to win a package. Also, yet to be released, there'll be a tournament where online you'll be able to win packages to the World Series. And then obviously, as we said, the Monte Casino next Sunday. So we're on 2, I reckon we'll give away 10 to 12 packages in the next 4 to 8 weeks.
That's epic. Very exciting. I mean, it sort of is something that everyone that played in the Sunbet series last year were on their race to Vegas. This year it's slightly different. They've got a big event in Sun City where all the players that have been sort of racking up points from the Global Poker Index results over the past, I think it's 4 or 5 series, are on a leaderboard, and there's going to be a big tournament there. I think, was this the last Sunbet series that you could qualify and earn points? So if we do a little summary from the last 2 weeks up in Pretoria, It started off a couple of weekends ago, just after our first episode. You and Ahmed went up. You played in the 25k Mega Millions. How did that go?
Yeah, great. I only was able to go up for the first weekend. Obviously, priorities. My daughter turned 3, so she wins. She wins the whole pot. But the first event, battled with Ahmed. So funny, we battled on the couch and then we battled in real life. But I can happily say that he was eliminated 6th. And then when there were 4 left, we entered into a deal. I had to basically, it was crazy with time. I had to jump into the businessman event. So this event, we literally did the deal at 6:30. And I phoned my partner and I said, I don't know, it's starting time's 8 o'clock. We won't be starting at 8 o'clock, Nick. So, yeah, we did that deal and then we played the businessman event. But it was very nice to be first event there, part of the deal. So super chuffed with that result.
Yeah, so I believe it was yourself, Rudolph, Kenny, and Sugen who chopped it 4 ways. And that led into the businessman event, which was very exciting again. I think Ahmed went with another deep run, heads up against Ray Adams. Now, many people, they get heads up with Ahmed, they just turn soft. Yeah. Digital head of digital, Sean Bloom. But Ray Adams decided, you know what, we're going to play for it. And props to him, because he ended up beating Ahmed heads up. No deal was made. Ray walked home with a big first prize. Ahmed obviously picking up a nice score as well. But it's nice to see... maybe an interesting adjustment is these businessmen that come in there, they're actually not that interested in the money. They're looking for that opportunity to really just take on the best in the game and walk away with a win.
And I'll tell you one thing, huge kudos to Ray. He entered with Edgar and Ray took it upon himself. He played it in the pro side. So I sat next to him. He battled with us and he is, a very good poker player, but even by self-admission, he'll say a business person. And it was insane. He had to battle with us for only 4 or 5 levels. He came in late. And then obviously to, navigate that final table was impressive. One thing I will say, as you said, with Ahmed, another score. I think obviously the first one, he broke through the 1,000-point barrier. So anyone at Sun City, you will be up against it. I don't know if he's starting 5x or 8x the stack of anyone else, but he will be in a very commanding position. But yeah, another deep run. Well done to Ray, though. Really impressive performance.
Yeah, great results. Ahmed, obviously, like you say, he's going to be basically playing off the ladies' tees against the rest of the field when he starts off with a huge chip lead. But anything can happen. We know what poker's like. From the businessman event, on the same day, we actually had the 3rd Club Champs event. Pokerbet sent our team out again to try and defend back-to-back titles. Unfortunately, we came up just short. It was a different format this year. We had, I think there were 18 single-table shootouts of 9 players where only the winner went through. We managed to get 4 winners, which was pretty huge. Out of a team of 9, almost half our team won their field, and we thought that it was a lock. We got very close, but as it turned out, we lost out to Card Room, which is one of the clubs from Joburg. Well done to them. Obviously sad not to win it, but to be totally honest, it's great to see maybe a new face, a new team on the top there, and good for SA Poker that it's being shared and split around. We had one of our ex-players, Wes Blom, representing Card Room, which was good to see. Just good all-round camaraderie. You on the rail during that event. It was excellent to watch. On a Pokerbet's point of view, we had 4 of our winners, I believe. Shannon Elizabeth, one of our Pokerbet ambassadors. Jacobus, who was captaining the team in my absence. And who else? There was Aleko Magnus, one of our up-and-coming hotshots playing on our site.
And Damon Fine.
Yeah, and Damon Fine, who was a late-minute call-up because we had a last-minute withdrawal. Damon jumped on. SA's young up-and-coming vlogger who is really passionate about the game. He puts out good content. Exciting to see guys doing there, but in their own individual capacity to grow the game, and we'll be definitely keeping an eye on Damon's progress. He had a great first table, and they ended up making it through to what then became a final 18, and it played like a multi-table tournament. Jacobus ended up winning it, and Aleko came 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, 2nd and 3rd went to the Card Room 1 team, which was enough for them to secure enough points, and I think they won 44 against 40 in the end.
So a few things on it. One, to get 4 winners out of 9 is just unbelievable. It's class. It was just very unlucky. They got 2nd, 3rd, and 7th, Card Room. They only had 3 people who made it through, and they all came top 7. But for the biggest thing for me, which is awesome, is the Gears. And I was very proud to, all the guys, Daniel Merkel. It's funny, I want to rattle off their online aliases, but you got to keep everyone anonymous until they choose. But Matthew Furlong, the guys were just, supporting their team, standing around there, cheering. And it was even great when there were 9 left. Even one of the guys, from, I think it was Team Cardroom as well, he just shouted out across me, he said, "But please, brother, please, how do I get part of the team?" And that just made it for me. Like, there was just a lot of cheers. People wanted to be involved. They wanted to be connected. These guys were just, supporting, cheering. Actually, so we were actually in for 3-peats, never mind even back-to-back. We were just, trying to do something that was, pretty impossible to do. But, it was a great performance. It really, to me, is one of the most awesome events.
Yeah.
Rudolph Faree, who I was trying to even put superlatives, godfather of poker, I don't know, the chairperson, he puts in, who knows, 3-4 teams, through him. So just kudos to the effort that he did. He had a band playing. It's just an awesome event. And I think if something for me sits is, and the question I ask, and something I really want to focus in, those 108 people, I want them to be playing in other tournaments. If you ask me just what I want to create, that's what I'd love to one day wake up and all those people are playing in other events, learning, growing, having their cheers, high-fiving. That's what poker's about.
100%. So I agree with you. Props to Mark Joseph for conceptualizing the Club Champs event. It's been a huge success and we hope to see it continue, even more than twice a year, which is what it's been doing so far. Following on from that, we jump into the High Roller event, which was a 50K buy-in. Very stacked field and a huge turnout. Really was an impressive turnout. Ended up being won by Imran Bajani. He edged out Clayton in second place in a heads-up battle. They played for pretty much just the pride after they'd made a deal 3-handed. But it really, Clayton's somebody that's someone to watch. Clayton Tallywanth, up and coming, student of the game, really puts in a lot of work. And he's had some great results in the last 6 to 12 months. Hoping to see him come to Vegas. And I think he's the type of player who can really grind hard and put in long hours at the table. Incredible discipline. And I think he's one to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, his progress in the last 14, to 18 months has just been amazing. He's always asking questions, very learned. One day we'll say he's an absolute gentleman at the table. He's just a really nice guy to be around. And it's something that, obviously, as we, are at all these tournaments, he's one of those guys that stuck out. And his progress has been great. The results are starting to come. And I think it's only the start for him, Just wish him success in that. Keep learning, keep asking. And for anyone out there, another one, even when I trigger that, Gavin Sardini, really also getting good results. He got that. So guys, just ask questions, keep learning from the other guys. The Max and Ahmed in South African Poker was always happy to, listen and, share their knowledge. But Clayton, great performance again. And I reckon we'll be seeing him in Vegas.
That'll be great. I mean, Clayton shares a lot of ideas. Him and Marco have become really close as well. Marco Norkia, another hotshot youngster that obviously had great results in the last couple of years. They share a lot of stories. I mean, it actually just reminds us of us 10, 15 years ago, discussing hands, learning from each other, going overseas, meeting a couple of international pros, sharing ideas with them, being able to chat hands with them. I made good friends with Nicholas Momoni in the 2009 main event. We still chat to this day. He's one of GG Poker's biggest online crushers and ambassadors. And I just think that the amount of knowledge you can pick up when you surround yourself with knowledgeable people, like we said, Marco and Clayton sharing hands. Marco, just touching on that, he won the bounty event. I think he must have knocked out more than half the people in the field. Ended up taking about 13 bounties and the first prize. A huge result for him there. He obviously finished 5th in the Mega Millions. He also cashed in the main event. So another great series. Leading on to the main event and touching on Marco, we had some entertainment, I think it was on Saturday evening. Watching the stream, I managed to jump into the commentary booth again. I had the privilege of commentating over some of my mates, Jed and Jared, who were playing pretty well on the feature table at that time. But at the same time, we saw another youngster that not many people know about. We've obviously seen him on our site, mixing it up at the high stakes with some of the biggest crushers around. And he's clearly fearless. A guy by the name of Eli Mazur. We played with his grandfather back in the old clubs in the Sea Point days 20 years ago. Eli's burst on the scene, I'm not sure, 22, 23 years old, something like that. And he just picked up chips in this tournament and he wasn't scared. I think it was Friday evening. He was mixing it up with Ahmed, three-betting him multiple hands in a row. On Saturday, he started three-betting Marco. I mean, these are two of the most revered tournament pros in the country at the moment. And people bow down and they almost, cower into submission against Marco and Ahmed. I know I've struggled coming back to the felt playing against Ahmed. I feel like he knows what I have all the time. And here you had this youngster who just didn't give an F. And he just went to town, and it made for enthralling viewership. I know the stream, guys were commenting, flying in. There were people asking more, get them back on the feature table. This is the kind of stuff that I think we all agree we need to see in SA Poker. Poker used to be a game of characters. You had the Phil Hellmuths and the Umberto Brennas and David Devilfish Elliott and Tony Guoga. These guys were big mouths. They chirp people. They were amazing to watch back in the day. And then you suddenly had this whole sort of math savants and these, we can call them the maths nerds. Yeah. These guys came through the Fedor Holzers and they became this methodical, robotic, hoodies, sunglasses, whatever it was, betting in the same manner, never table talking, never chirping people. And it kind of takes away a little bit of the fun of the sport, the sort of viewership that you want to create. You lose it when people are just watching these robots, doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm all for it. I think this was great to watch. Obviously, within the respects of not getting out of line in terms of what you say on the table. You also know that you need to create a good example for people, the youngsters that are watching the stream. You don't want guys to start slow rolling each other left, right, and center. But I think that it's good. I don't know if you managed to watch any of it, but you obviously seen Eli playing on the site.
Breath of fresh air. He's great. It was awesome. It's just, and again, I said it, another gentleman. I just was watching, was smiling from ear to ear. Here's some kid who burst on the scene, not a worry in the world. And it's just great. He had a personality. He was just action. I said it was great viewership. So it was just good to see him tackling with the best. And as I say, he's played a lot of hands. He's not some random who's just random to maybe the live scene. But I've always got this, the story that if you created and born online in terms of playing hands, getting through volume hands, when you burst into online scene, you might be a bit nervous or a bit raw in certain tells, but it's just, you'll have the fundamentally, you'll be great. So, it was awesome to see. He's definitely going to cause waves in Suffering Poker, and I really enjoyed it. It's great. We need more of the personalities. It's not so intimidating to the average person watching. It's not like, oh my God, I can't work this out, whatever. Here's a guy. He's firing. He's playing. He's got gears. He's got energy. Great viewership. Yeah,
I agree with you. And I think just one thing you touched on, he really carried himself across very well. And actually, a couple of lessons for players who haven't maybe necessarily played in live series before. It can be quite intimidating. And I actually noticed him making a few mistakes. He wasn't aware of the rules. Can I show one card? Can I show only one player next to me? And he did. He showed a pocket jacks to one of the players next to him. And then they said, no, you got to show everyone. And he wasn't even aware of it. But he questioned the dealer with a lot of respect. And even after there was one break I picked up, everyone else was leaving. They'd left the table. He had just won the pot. And the dealer started explaining something to him about where he had to put his cards and certain things that you need to do when you're playing live events that when you're online, you're just clicking buttons. So you can't really step out of line. And he was just incredibly respectful to the dealer. He said, you can tell me exactly. I'm just here to learn. I won't do it again. I made a mistake. He acknowledged it. First big live series. We hope to see him at more live series around the country. And I know he lives in Cape Town, so hopefully we get him out at Times Square at the end of the year. But we'd hate to wait that long again. I think we need to maybe see a Marco versus Eli heads-up matchup. I know that we'll get great viewership for that. But Marco had another good series. And again, we also hope to see him in Vegas as well. There's a lot of up-and-coming talent. And that, you and I, maybe 18 months ago, when the whole idea of Pokerbet was first ever a reality, we spoke about this and we said, we want to see the second wave of young SA talent, and it's starting to come to fruition, and it must be exciting for you.
Very exciting. Actually, so funny when you're talking about this, Eli. The scary part is with our age. I've played with his grandfather and with his father. I played with his father on the first sort of games I was invited. I think I played for about 8 months, and then they said they'd phone me. Still waiting for the phone call. But it's crazy to see, the guy's got a breeding second to none. As I said, both the father and the grandfather were very good players in their own right. And yeah, it's something that, as you said, was close to my heart. I knew the opportunity and what it created for myself and for yourself. And, we saw the world and experienced things that we would never be able to do without poker. And yeah, it's exciting to see the next wave of poker players pushing the boundaries, learning, making some money, a bit of extra money, or making a lot of money out of it. Really exciting. And there's some talented kids out there. So excited for the future and excited to help them open the doors.
100%. I think that the last thing to sum up would be the main event of the Times Square Poker Series. They had a 5 million rand guarantee, which is quite a lofty goal to aim for. And well done to Mark and the team at Monster Jam. They got there. I think they ended up with 420 odd runners, if I'm not mistaken. And after 3 grueling days and a lot of ups and downs, I in the booth on Saturday afternoon picked Saj. From when there were 50 players left. He had been playing unbelievable poker on Friday evening when I watched him on the feature table. We've obviously seen him on our site as well, mixing it up. He's just come on leaps and bounds as a tournament player. He had an insane field to pick spots, 3-betting light, squeezing, trapping players. He just really has a good card sense. He ended up winning, not the title, but he took the bulk of the money when they made a deal 3-handed. Jared Solomon, SA Pokerbet Pro, ended up 4th. He just didn't pick up many cards on the final table, but a great run from him. And obviously we then had Maj finishing 3rd, Sujen picking up the trophy, and obviously Saj won the bulk of the first prize. Sujen had a great series as well.
I mean, it's great to see. I mean, here's a guy who been around the circuit, came to Vegas to get his, feet wet last year, and he's really improving. It's great. He's a really nice guy. Always enjoyed his company, and it's great to see him back up some performances. So maybe we'll get another visit from him this year as well. But really just impressive. Like, there's a few guys breaking through, getting some results, putting in the work. Even as you go to that, like, Saj is just amazing. I think this is his 3rd, where they call it win or deal in the last 16 to 18 months. Monty, I think, he's won a high roller and he's won the main event. He was great. He was superb. So he's really improved, always willing to learn. I was actually at coffee with Ahmed yesterday about something, and he said, the funniest thing is, he said, most people don't ask him, but non-stop, Sergeant's asking him, messaging, going, what would you do here? What would you do differently? So it's just really cool to see guys are willing to learn, and the door's open, just feel free. So it's really awesome to see people asking questions. We're a cool community, close community that wants to help each other. And here's just an example of some guy, reaching out to one of the actually the best player in the country, getting a bit of information, and look at it, the results are there. So yeah, kudos to him, superb results, and keep it up.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of Saj on the scene. We'll hope to see him maybe in Vegas with us. And speaking of one of Saj's family members, his brother-in-law, the first to fly the flag for South Africa in the Triton Poker Series. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know about the Triton Poker Series. It is an unfathomable level of buy-ins in series around the world. They're currently playing in Jeju Island in South Korea. And my colleague Sean Bloom just said to me, Brew, Faisal's just bought into the $10,000 this one, and there's another 20,000. I mean, just to give you context of the size of the buy-ins, they currently are playing an $150,000 buy-in event. The main event is a $100,000 buy-in. It's insane amounts of money. The prize pools are huge. The level of play in these fields is insane. And to be honest, Faisal's held his own there. He's really done himself proud. He got a deep cash in his second event he played in. I think it was a $25,000 buy-in. And he was doing incredibly well, final sort of 30 odd, and he got it in with 10s against 5s, all in pre. Unfortunately, he got rivered by a 5, but he would have been sitting with a huge chip stack going into the final 30 deep in an event with well over $1 million first prize. I'm looking forward to catching up with Faisal in Vegas. I know that he's definitely going this year as well. We shared some good stories, and I look forward to hearing all about it because it's something that we can all aspire to. We aspired to go to Vegas back in the day. Now this is on another level.
So, I must say, exactly what you're saying. This office, Triton sits in the background on the TV 5 hours a day, seeing the Belgians, the Russians, the Germans, And it was quite crazy to even hear. He's the first South African to ever enter in Triton. And yeah, in his second event, to find that cash was crazy. Everyone was following, I was sharing it with people. He's just a humble, chilled guy, nothing bothers Faisal. And it was awesome. I messaged him afterwards, he's like, come with me, just blasé. I'm like, yeah, something that's a dream for most poker players. He's making it into reality. When I laugh, he is hooked to the live scene. I said to Faisal, so you're going to come with us to Vegas? He said, yeah, no, just book me 6 weeks, So we're going for like 2 weeks. He'll be there from start to finish. Super exciting to see him battle with basically the creme de la creme. So, yeah, absolutely well done to him. Superb result. And hopefully fly that flag. Get us a few more deep runs.
Yeah, get us a win there so you can fly me and DK over for the next one, Faisal. I think that, in terms of summaries of the series, that pretty much brings us up to speed. A really great series. And as usual, Sunbet has run a really tight ship up there, doing really good work in South African poker circles. And obviously they've got a new stream, some young voices on their commentary at the moment. I think that, it's often difficult to go through change, but it's also good to have a change of voices and maybe it appeals to a new audience as well. It'll be also good to see if these streams do, with the partnership with Poker News that came on board. For those who don't know, Poker News is the biggest live reporting poker site in the world. And they were covering the main event this year. They sent a reporter out who was an absolute machine, just live updates. It really was great. And I think that it can only have beneficial knock-on effects. If Poker News is now broadcasting live streaming to the Sunbet Poker Tour in South Africa, and a lot of the foreigners are looking at it, then they click on the stream, they see this incredibly one thing, and then all that's left is you look at the currency, you look at the options for tourism, and it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's obviously a double-edged sword. It's a little bit bittersweet because you're going to get tougher fields coming out here, but it's only going to grow the game. And we'd love to see main events with 1,000 runners, not just 150 uniques with multiple rebars. So yeah, well done to the Sunbet team, the stream, the Poker News partnerships, the Hendon mob that were out here. South African poker is feeling quite healthy at the moment, and I think that we can only hope to see it carry on into Vegas. And like you said, this year we're looking forward to somebody really going deep and hopefully bringing home some silverware or goldware, should we say.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, you had a very good run last year, so let's push it another day or two.
Yeah, we call that, I think it's not beginner's luck, but the comeback luck. Let's see what we can do this year. But there's still be a bit of action before we get there. We'll be coming back in the next couple of weeks, hopefully with some of the new guests that are going to be joining us, part of Team Pokerbet, and any exciting news that's up and coming from us, maybe 1 or 2 late-minute surprises and opportunities for players to win a package to Vegas. Make sure your passport's up to speed and keep an eye on pokerbet.co.za and look for exciting new campaigns. Darren, as always, great chatting poker with you. We'll have some guests back in the studio. There's plenty of space. Hopefully we can get maybe Sarge or Faisal in next time. It'll be great to hear from their experiences. From me, that's all we have from you this time on the couch with Pokerbet. Darren, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it.
We'll be seeing you guys soon.